Welcome or welcome back. My name is Brandon. I'm with the Resiliency Resource Center, and this is the third of 8 sessions to help with finding your focus. If you're watching now, it means you've chosen to do something different today with your attention. You chose to create time and put energy into yourself. One would say that you are controlling your attention to focus on this webinar and practice mindfulness today. We'll talk more about how this may feel like sitting in the driver's seat of your ADHD mind in ways you can continue to guide it through the present moment. Focus can often feel like something we may not always have control over. So you did make a choice to show up, be present, and practice. We know there will be distractions, so it's important to limit them for the duration of this practice and webinar. Give yourself the time to be curious and learning while you bring focused energy to the practices offered. Be sure to pause after each practice, maybe reflecting some of the experiences you had, things surprised you, things that showed up, things you noticed with your attention. And as usual in these sessions, it's important to set your intentions. So let's take a moment to clarify for yourself, why was it important for you to show up today? Back at your choice to click play on this, why did you? Just thinking about that for your own may be literally to find your focus. Maybe you've lost it, that happens. Maybe you've come to be more present with others, to learn more about mindfulness, to continue with this mindfulness series using humility and perseverance. Whatever your reason is for showing up, make sure you are aware of that intention. It's a nice place to come back to when our focus drifts away from the practice to distractions to other things. So being here took creativity, and I will challenge you now to tap into the curiosity. Let's learn and practice together. Today we will explore mindfulness of sound, breath, body, these three being the anchors of mindfulness. We will experience with the movement of our attention and our awareness, specifically through music. As you've probably already noticed, attention and awareness have a natural tendency to move. This movement is particularly obvious or noticeable as we listen to music. Music is a collection of different sounds with changing tempo, intensity, and listening to it involves shifting awareness from one note, instrument, or tempo to another. Listening to music also involves anticipating certain changes and sustaining attention. Neuroimaging studies show that listening to music is a good way to activate the brain networks involved in paying attention. As it turns out, our attention is especially stimulated by the short pauses between musical movements as we anticipate the next note. In typical mindfulness practice, we strive to be alert and aware of what's happening in the present moment. I think music can help us in many ways, certainly has a profound influence on our mind and bodies. So how do you typically listen to music? To get in a zone when moving from one place to another, traveling and transition, maybe to dance and move. It certainly can be relaxing, energizing, comforting, understanding, helpful. Music certainly can just be really nice to resonate with at times. However you listen to music, let's observe how attention and awareness move in response to music patterns. When listening to music, you have a choice in how you pay attention. You can listen intently to the change in the sounds, focused attention, or you can allow the sounds to come and go with open attention. So you can sit silently with your eyes closed or slightly open, whichever is more comfortable for you, and using headphones if available. As we listen to music for a few minutes, be sure to notice any shifts in the music's tempo or intensity. Listen to the different sounds. As you listen, notice what happens to your attention, your awareness. Notice any feelings, thoughts, imagery that the music evokes. Does the music influence your body? Notice these experiences throughout. Taking time to notice what that was like, what you experienced. That band was Alt J with the song Intro from their album An Awesome Wave. Sometimes what we hook into may really be helpful for us. How we listen to something, how we shift attention. Maybe more interesting things show up than what we're trying to focus on, or at least distracting things. A wandering mind can be useful for our imagination, preparation, and creativity. It can sometimes show up as daydreaming. One way to work with this is to develop a habit of matching your attention with a previously set intention, something we talk about at the beginning of each of these series. You can do this by asking yourself in any moment, where is my attention right now? Is it matching my intention to show up, to be present? So with this next exercise, you set an intention to pay attention to a specific thing. Either sounds in your environment, your breath, your body sensations, all of which anchor you to the present moment. You practice staying with or returning to the anchor until you consciously decide to pick another one. This puts you in the driver's seat of your attention and strengthens your ability to make transitions with your focus. So, getting into another mindfulness practice. It's a program around practice and mindfulness. Find your meditation posture, maybe sitting upright, comfortable, yet alert. You can even do this practice while walking slowly, mindfully walking. Either way, taking a few deep breaths to relax before we begin. We'll use the bell as an invitation to transition your attention between each anchor in this practice today. We'll set the intentions to bring attention to each anchor, the sound, breath, and body. So for now, setting the intention with this next breath to notice sounds for a few minutes. Silently saying to yourself, I'm going to notice sounds. And try this for 2 to 3 minutes. Bring awareness to sounds around you. Allow each sound to come to you without reaching for it or trying to find the sounds. Simply note its coming and going, whether it's a loud sound or a soft sound, without getting caught up in a story about what each sound is or why it's there. Whenever you notice the attention has wandered off, briefly label it as wandering. Gently return attention back to sound as an anchor. Beginning to now set your intention for the next few minutes. I'm going to notice my breath as an anchor. So for a few minutes, gently resting your attention on the sensations of your breathing. Remember, this can be at the nostrils, the chest, the belly, or anywhere else. Observe the breath in its natural flow. Not trying to change it or control it or direct it. And whenever you notice the attention has wandered off, just label it as wandering. Return the attention to your intention to notice the breath. And begin shifting that attention. Setting your intention now to notice all body sensations that arise. I will notice the body as an anchor. So certainly an anchor from distractions, from thoughts, from feelings. Just bring attention to your body and sense it sitting or moving. Notice the points of contact, the seat or ground beneath you. maybe a sense of weight resting there. Explore the body from the inside. Might be a feeling of pressure or tightness somewhere, itching or tingling, discomfort or pain. You may also notice an urge to move or restlessness. Notice whatever is present with curiosity. When wandering away from the body and its sensations, just gently bringing it back after labeling that distraction. Back to the body. Just taking a few deep breaths now to just appreciate the ability you have to notice these sounds, the breath, to notice the body sensations you experienced. Maybe returning to the space, opening eyes, taking time to reflect on this process. What was it like? How was your attention? What was in the background? What was in the foreground? How anchored were you? We can return to any of these anchors more purposefully and certainly more often. You can use the stop practice to help with this in a more informal way or throughout your daily living. So, yes, the S standing for stop or pause. We then take a breath, right? Let it do its job. Let the breath breathe in the body, relaxing the mind, right? Just taking a breath, fully in, fully out. Observe what's in the present moment, maybe through sound, through the breath, through the body. What is going on? Observe it. Is it a wandering thought? Is it uh, a worry about something very important? Is it a feeling? And then proceed with your attention in any way that feels right. Maybe that is leaning into the distraction. Maybe that is being productive. Maybe that is something that feels of importance to you. You're obviously practicing these things for some sort of change. So proceed with your attention in a way that serves what your intention is, maybe for that task, that moment, that relationship. It's just a small pause to stop informally. We don't have to save 10 minutes to do this. Maybe when a difficult thought or feeling or distraction has shown up, we stop, we take a breath, we observe, and we proceed. And so, for finding your own focus until next time, listen to music with mindfulness. Experience a song as if it's the first time you're listening to it. We bring this beginner's mind and curiosity. Maybe notice certain parts of a song. Practice 10 minutes of this sound, breath, body meditation. Maybe you return to this, just getting to that practice. Maybe you find other experiences and guided meditations. Maybe you find anchoring in your own way. Just set a timer, right? We're bringing attention and awareness to the three anchors. And you can certainly return to any of these things that have resonated with you. Maybe use the anchors while listening to a song. Use visual reminders while you engage in new practices with routines and scheduling. Set alarms, right? You want to carve out time for this practice, formal practices or informal, right? We're weaving mindfulness into your daily living. And practice stopping. certainly more. In times when you're focused or in a groove or when stressed, whenever, just remember to stop. It's not just when something's wrong. We can stop, take a breath, observe, give ourselves credit for focusing, and then proceed back to something. Seek out opportunities for this enhanced sense of sound, breath, or body. For example, notice maybe your breath after exercising, or notice sounds when you go for a walk. Experiment with this, play around with your attention. But that's it for session 3. So thanks for tuning in and taking your time to find your focus. Please take purposeful care.